All right, here we are for the green portion of our Rivals of Ixalan Uncommon and Common set review, starting off with Aggressive Urge, a reprint from Invasion, 1 and a green for an instant. Target creature gets +1/+1 until end of turn. Draw a card. This card seems very good to me. This is probably like a C, maybe even a C+. The fact that it replaces itself, like getting 2 for 1 by this is going to feel bad and when your opponent does it and feel great when you do it. Whatever. I might even bump this up to C+. It is still just a combat trick. It's a small combat trick, but it does seem like everything's power level is pretty flat so far, like it was in Ixalan. I'm just going to stick with a C, but it could be C+ range for sure. Colossal Dreadmaw is back. 4 green for a 6/6 dino with trample. This was fine to bad. This was like C- D+ range in Ixalan, and my guess is it sticks around, so I'm probably just going to go D+. Yeah, I agree. I would love it if Whiptail was reprinted. Like, it's a finisher if you need it in a dino deck, but the dino deck is poopy, so there we are. Gilt Grove Stalker, 1 and a green for a 2/1 Merfolk Warrior. Can't be blocked by creatures with power 2 or less. So it's evasive, and then you can suit it up. So it can't be double blocked? Jeez, this card seems very good to me. I mean, Dreadmaw was big in Ixalan, and it still wasn't... I mean, it was fine. Maybe C-, maybe D+ is unfair. Maybe it's a C-. I think this Gilt Grove Stalker looks great, and I'm giving it a C+. It's going to be unblockable for, like, the first few turns of the game. No, it's not triple Rivals. It's Rivals, Ixalan. Doesn't get known by tokens or sailor means, and then later once you suit it up with something, it can't be double blocked by little things. This card is really, really good. Hardy Veteran. That bothers me that it's not hearty, but hardy. 1 and a green for a 2/2 human warrior. As long as it's your turn, Hardy Veteran is a 2/4. It's weird. Not relevant creature type. Interesting ability for attacking. Like, I guess good for suiting it up. Gives it a little toughness boost. Probably just a C, maybe C-. Hunt the Week is back, baby! 3 and a green. Sorcery. Put a +1/+1 counter on target creature you control. Then that creature fights target creature you don't control. This is a good card. This is a good card. This is a C+. This might be B- material. But again, clunky removal, sorcery speed. I'm gonna leave that out of B range. Jade Bearer. 1 green for a 1/1 Merfolk Shaman. When it enters the battlefield, put a +1/+1 counter on another target Merfolk you control. So it's not really a 1-drop because you don't want to play this as a 1-mana 1/1. And then it's like, it is like 2/2 worth of stats, but it's basically putting a counter on another creature and attacking and then leaving behind a little 1/1 wiener. I don't think this card is very good. I think this is like a D. Jadecraft Artisan. 3 and a green for a 3/3 Merfolk Shaman. When it enters the battlefield, target creature gets +2/+2 until end of turn. Now there's the Yavimaya whatever I was thinking of. That 2 and a green enters the battlefield +2/+2 to a creature, because this is to any creature. I think this card is quite good. It's a nice curve topper for an aggressive Merfolk deck. It's nice in multiples. Yeva's Force Mage got there. Thank you, Enchanted Stevening. I am kind of surprised you like Jade Bearer, Ryan. That card seems pretty garbage to me. I think I'm going to give Jadecraft Artisan just... It is still just a Hill Giant. But the +2/+2 until end of turn might enable... Like, let's think about Imperial Aerosaur, right? The 3 and a white, 3/3 flyer. It came into play, gave something +1/+1 and flying. This doesn't give flying, but it gives 2 power, 2 toughness boost, which is probably going to enable an attack that you couldn't have made prior, or it's going to get, which either means you're going to kill something or get in like a bunch more damage. So it's like a 4-mana 3/3 deal 4 or kill something, probably. I think this is a C+. That's true. I know Aerosaur also left behind a more relevant body. But, which is why Aerosaur was like a B+. I'm not giving this a B range, but I think this is still a very strong card. Jungleborn Pioneer, 2 and a green for a 2/2 Merfolk Scout. When it enters the battlefield, create a 1/1 blue Merfolk creature token with hexproof. This card seems great. 3 power, 3 toughness, just straight out. We so far haven't seen a 3-mana 3/3 without setup cost. Like, there's the black one that requires you to pay life or have a pirate. There's the red one that requires you to have attacked. But just straight up 3-mana 3/3, and probably better than a 3-mana 3/3 because it makes 2 bodies and one of them is a 1/1 with hexproof. This is a C+. Knight of the Stampede, 3 and a green, 2/4 human knight. Dino spells cost 2 less to cast. No, I'm not in on this card. I think the cheaper ones are good. I think Drover the Mighty and Odapek Huntmaster were good because they were 2 drops. This is 4-mana 2/4. That only like then you can untap and play a 7-mana dinosaur. 2 is a lot less, but at this point you already have 4 mana. I don't know. I think this is like a C-, D+. I'm gonna. It is Sailor. It blocks well. I'm going C-. It's not exciting. So it's exciting to me because it's a Pillarfield Ox, not because of the text on the card. I don't think. Naturalize sideboard card. What is that? A dino's butt? I don't need to see that. Orazka Frillback, 2 and a green for a 4/2. This is not good. It's a dinosaur, so this is, what's it called? It's Frenzied Raptor, which I guess was fine. But no, I don't think this is good. Orazka Frillback. It just trades down, right? It's going to trade with every 2-power creature in the format, which is most 2-drops. You're just living in best case scenario mentality world, Kui. Turn 5, play 2 creatures for 9 total mana. Sounds good. Yeah, that's going to happen sometimes. Not most of the time. I think this is like a D+. Yeah, this is like Frenzied Raptor. Super replaceable. Overgrown Armosaur, 3 green for a 4/4. When it is dealt damage, create a 1/1 green Saproling creature token. Now, this is a card I'm excited about. I don't know how good it is. A 4 toughness thing with Enrage at common is nice. I don't think we really saw that last time. And pooping out 1/1s is good for getting the city's blessing. I gave Colossal Dreadmaw C-. I think Armosaur is going to be a C. I was like kind of happy, at least in Dirtle decks, with the whatever, the 5-mana 4/4 that could block 2 things. This is like probably like similarly good in the decks that will want it. And if you have any sort of ways to like enable multiple raid triggers, just making a bunch of 1/1 seems kind of good. I don't know. This might, maybe it's a C-. It's probably a C-. It's probably just a C-. Plummet sideboard. Okay, time to rank them commons. A lot of C+. So the C+ I gave were Giltgrove Stalker, which I liked, Hunt the Weak, Jadecraft Artisan, Jungleborn Pioneer. That's true, Cedargrim. That's a good point, yeah. I play against potatoes all the time, Volcane. Okay. I think I like Guild-Growth Stalker #1. Is that crazy? Do we think or Pioneer? Stalker seems so good. How do they ever block this? They can't block this for like a few turns, and then you suit it up and they can't block it. I'm going to go Stalker 1. Pioneer 2. And Hunt the Weak 3. All right, let's go on to the uncommons. We're just cruising right along here. Cacophodon, 3 and a green for a 2/5 dino. When Cacophodon is dealt damage, untap target permanent. Does not seem very good to me. This seems like a D+. Cherished Hatchling, 1 and a green. When Cherished Hatchling dies, you may cast dinosaur spells. You may cast dinosaur spells this turn as though they had flash. And whenever you cast a dinosaur spell this turn, it gains, when this creature enters the battlefield, you may have it fight another target creature. What? Okay, so you have to, so it has to die, which is sort of up to your opponent. And then you may cast a dino with flash, and it can fight something, which is great. So this dies, like best case scenario, this trades with something of theirs, you flash in a dino, and it fights a creature. And it's a 2-mana 2/1, which is cute. Right, you can make it die with all the 1 damage effects, but then you also have you have spent mana on something to kill it, and then you have to have mana left over to play a dinosaur. So I think it is more likely going to happen in combat, and less unless it's like super late game. Yeah, Ryle's good at this card. I think this all adds up to like right, please don't pass and hope you flash it in. Right, people are going to like try and get really cute with this card. I think this is all adds up to like a C. 2-mana 2/1 is fine as like D- range or D+ range with a relevant creature type. And then all of this adds up, I think, to a C. So much setup cost for this to be good. Could even just be a C-. But all right, Crested Herd Caller is 3 green for a 3/3 dino with trample. When it enters the battlefield, create a 3/3 green dino creature token with trample. Oh, cool. Regisaur Alpha at uncommon. Great. So this is 6 power and toughness of trample spread over 2 creatures for 5 mana. This is a B+. Like, why does this card need to exist? This is not A range for me. I don't think Regisaur Alpha was an A. I think it's a B+. It's not a bomb. It doesn't win the game on the spot. All right, Enter the Unknown. Single green. Queej is still living the dream with the 2/4 that reduces the costs of dinos. Enter the Unknown. A green sorcery. Target creature you control explores. You may play an additional land this turn. Okay, so let's think about the card Explore. Just kind of tilting that that's not what the mechanic Explore does. So Explore is 1 and a green Draw a card. You may play an additional land this turn. So it replaces itself. This does not guarantee to replace itself. So Explore on creatures is nice, but Explore as a card that lets you play an additional land, you're not guaranteed to net a card's worth of value this turn. So a green mana, put a +1/+1 counter on target creature. Scry, you may play an additional land, is not worth a card. If this was green, draw land, you may play it, fine. But that's too busted, right? So like, I guess the times when it is when it does reveal land, when it's like rampant growth, is gonna be pretty great. Like if this did that for a single green mana, draw a land, play a land, that's great. That's like a B. And the times when this does green mana, scry 1, put a +1/+1 counter on target creature, you may play an additional land this turn, that's like a D-. I think this all averages out to be like a D+, C- card. Like, it's not the worst, you're just never going to play it, probably. Unless you have Explore synergies, which I don't think really exist in this format. I'm going to give this a D+. I don't think it's as bad as people think it is, because the times when this hits a land, it's great. But the other times, it's pretty bad. I'm going to go C-. Forerunner of the Heralds, 3 and a green for a 3/2 Merfolk Scout. Enters the battlefield, search your library for a Merfolk card, put it on top. When another Merfolk enters the battlefield under your control, put a +1/+1 counter on Forerunner of the Heralds. That's not bad. But you can also still play the additional land like from your hand, Pellet Cooling, so it's that last text is also kind of relevant. This isn't bad. 4 mana 3/2 isn't great. But the next turn it'll be attacking as a 4/3. This might be the best one of the bunch. Merfolk doesn't want a ton of 4-drops if it was similar to how Merfolk was in Ixalan. Though this does seem a bit better. You go find your best Merfolk. If you happen to have a Merfolk Lord, that's pretty great. I think this is probably a C+. And probably gets better if you have, like, it's probably a B- if you have a Lord. Or if you search up the 2/2 that puts a token. Oh, man. I'm going to stick with C+. This could be great, though. This is definitely the best of the bunch, I think. Strength of the Pack. 4 green, put 2 +1/+1 counters on each creature you control at sorcery speed. Yeah, it looks like maybe Merfolk is more the token strategy this time around than Vampires is. I don't like this card. This is very expensive. I mean, obviously it's going to be absurd when it's good, but it's so expensive. It's like overrun. But let's remember, okay, let's think back to Hour of Devastation and how we all lost our minds with Overcome. We're like, oh man, Overrun is back. 3 green. Yeah, it's nerfed a little, but still, +2/+2 and Trample until end of turn is so strong. And that card was bad. That card was really bad. And so, if this is anything like Overcome, which it is, it's 1 mana more and does less, arguably, because it doesn't give Trample. I think this is bad. I think I'm going to start this as like a D+. It's a permanent buff, to be fair. I'm going to start this at D+. And I'm going to wait to get to see that this card is absurdly good before I play with it. I think this is going to be bad. Swift Warden. I like this card. 1 green for a 3/3 with Flash. When it enters the battlefield, target Merfolk you control gains hexproof until end of turn. So it's a 3 mana 3/3 with Flash, which can already ambush a creature in combat. And you can also use it as a way to 2-for-1 your opponent when they go to kill something. So you like flash it in. My thing has hexproof. It doesn't die. And now, so like, it's just dive down, but it makes a 3/3. This card is great. This is like a B, solid B, maybe even a B+. I think this is a B. Yeah, exactly. The wolf from Eldritch Moon. Or the wolf, and the wolf from Avacyn Restored. That also flashed in. It had Regenerate, though. It didn't have the ability that this one does. Okay. Thrashing Brantodon. 1 green for a 3/4. Just a 3-mana 3/4. Sacrifice it for 1. Destroy target artifact or enchantment. This is great. This is a big boy. And then can blow up an enchantment or something if you want. This is great. This is a B. Maybe it's just a B-, but never sacking, right? So then it's probably just a B-. Yeah, you probably are sacking it sometimes. It's huge, though. Thunderherd Migration. 1 and a green. As an additional cost to cast it, reveal a dino card from your hand or pay 1. Rampant Growth. Search your library for a basic land, put it on the battlefield tapped, then shuffle your library. This card's fine. It's actual Rampant Growth if you have a dino. Yeah, I think this is, it's fine. Rampant Growth is fine. 3-mana Rampant Growth is fine, but worse. But I don't know if you're going to have time to do this in this format. I think this is like a C-, D+. I would much rather play Sailor of Means all day, every day on turn 3. Then, like, take turn 3 off, or turn 2 off to ramp. I guess if you're turn 2ing this consistently, this is probably like a C-. Yeah. Alright, best commons. Well, Crested Herd Caller is definitely getting the #1 slot here, this Regisaur Alpha at Uncommon. And then I think I'm going Swift Warden #2. That card looks gross. I don't think it's going to be like Hour of Devastation, Brazen Dog. I do not think that's going to happen. All right. 1 green Swift Warden. Yeah, that's going #2. All right. Let's round this out. Finish up green here, and see you all for the artifacts and lands.